I used to go to Chipotle all the time until the E. coli breakout, and now I just don't really go there because I don't trust it. And it's just like a really scary thing with the E. coli, and I just like don't really want to make myself at risk um, for having it. And I've kind of like leaned towards Moe's more than Chipotle now just because of it.
Before, I was definitely a big fan of Chipotle, liked all the stuff they did, liked the cheap stuff. But then the E. coli outbreak came back, and since then I have not been back to a Chipotle. I've officially moved on to Moe's and that place that starts with Cadoba or whatever. Can't even say that name. But here's the thing: when you hear something like an E. coli outbreak happen, really hurts the company, and it takes at least a year or two to fix it. Plus, this wasn't like the Subway outbreak. This E. coli outbreak was massive, wide scale, and really bad. So I have not gone back to Chipotle for those reasons.
Did you eat at Chipotle before the outbreak?
I kind of did, but kind of didn't because I have a very sensitive stomach, and Chipotle just kind of always like upset my stomach. But I mean, every once in a while, like if my friends wanted to go or something, I would get like a salad.
So how has that outbreak affected your thoughts of Chipotle?
Honestly, I am very skeptical with restaurants and like where my food is coming from, and especially that I have like a sensitive stomach. I like to like kind of be careful about what I eat, and after hearing about that, it kind of turned me off to Chipotle. I can't say I haven't really been there. Like I could probably count maybe like once or twice since then. So yeah, I try to like I said, still stay away from Chipotle unless like my friends who are obsessed with Chipotle really want to go.
Hi, I'm Christina Spezio, and I'm going to show you our IMC plan for Chipotle and how we are going to revamp our image. So a little bit of our history. As you all know, Steve Ells created the company in Denver, Colorado in 1993. And when he did this, his goal was to sell 10 burritos a day. And he actually ended up selling over 1,000 a day within his first month. So it was a great start to his Chipotle. And in 1998, McDonald's did us a huge favor by investing $360 million into our company, which allowed us to expand at a faster pace than we originally thought. So today, Chipotle has over 37,000 employees and 1,500 locations. I'd now like to introduce my colleague, Grace Garlick.
So as many people have heard and know about the E. coli breakout in Chipotle's meals, it happened in Chicago, and 60 people in 14 states were sickened by E. coli, and the Chicago Tribune was one of the main people that wrote about us, and they stated 60 people in 14 states were sickened by E. coli linked to the Denver-based burrito chain, the result of 2 different strands of the bacteria. Because of this, our brand image was destroyed and we lost a lot of loyal customers. So another big thing that happened from the E. coli breakout is that our stock dropped dramatically. If you look at this chart, you'll see that from the end of October through the end of April, we had a huge decrease of our stock. On top of that, we also had 30% of our sales revenue decrease, and a lot of our stores shut down. So on top of our stocks decreasing and our sales decreasing, Chipotle has always relied on colleges and college campuses for a lot of their revenue. College kids constantly tweet about Chipotle and go there, and a lot of times can use their dining dollars at Chipotle. So unfortunately, because of the E. coli breakout, college campus locations have struggled a lot, and we're going to be showing you a video of one college campus in particular that lost a lot of its businesses because of the E. coli breakout.
It's no secret that Chipotle has experienced its fair share of struggles recently. The nightmare began for them last August when news of the E. coli outbreak first surfaced. The Chipotle on campus was once one of the most profitable Chipotle sites in the country and now stands virtually vacant with little to no line at all.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Chipotle let it get so bad. Since the E. coli incident, I haven't been back. I even got a gift card for Christmas, but until I feel like they've really shaped things up, I don't think I plan on going back.
Some students, on the other hand, seem to be anything but fazed from these health concerns.
No, it doesn't make me nervous because Chipotle has a really high standard for their food. They have a lot of integrity, and I'm glad they found it so early. They caught it or were able to contain it, most of it at least, and they limited the outbreak.
Chipotle stores across the nation will be closed February 8th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in order to have a mandatory meeting in which they'll discuss the past few months and their future plans moving forward to get back on the road to recovery.
So after watching that video, I think it's clear that we have to recreate our brand and gain back the trust of our customers. How are we going to do that? The overall goal of Chipotle is that we plan to help reestablish the trust of American consumers by having a visual inside the store to show where our meat comes from and help create consistency in our food for people trying to watch their calorie count. In order to achieve our goal, we're going to create consistency, establish transparency, and gain back the trust of our consumers. I'm now going to introduce my colleague, Ty Holmes.
Thank you, Grace. So today we're going to talk about the target market. So we feel that young adults to mid-30s are our primary source of income because we feel as millennials that they are the most adaptive to eating healthy food. And as Chipotle, we try to strive for being a fast food that is healthy, but at the same time at a relatively low cost. So millennials are very prone to eating healthy, and we feel that as our upbringing, we've always been trying to beat American obesity. So how we're going to reach our target market is we're going to help improve consistency in our food. And how we're going to do that is we're going to implement new smart utensils into our food line to make sure that each burrito is consistent every time a consumer comes in. We're going to reduce the variable costs of our market and our inventory, and we are going to promote healthy eating. So we're partnering up with AT&T to create an application that will help us determine how much ounces of each product that we're putting into our burritos to ensure that we create consistency in every meal that is produced. Now, with this, how it will essentially work is we'll have iPads on each counter of the assembly line that will be attached to these new smart utensils that every time that one of the workers scoops up one of the products that they're putting into the burrito, that'll accurately measure how much that is putting in there. If the worker is putting too less or too much into the burrito, then the application will ding, notifying them to fix the problem immediately. So with these new smart utensils and going back to making sure that every burrito has the same amount of food in it, this will help promote exact calorie count for people trying to eat healthy. And this goes back to what we were trying to implement before, is that our consumers are typically ones that want to eat healthy. So being able to more accurately represent how many calories are going into a burrito, it will help make consumers be able to experience the same taste every time they come through. So not only does it help our consumers by creating a great same taste every time they come through, but it'll also help with the management of our staff and our inventory supplies. If we know the exact amount of materials that are going into our burrito every time that we produce them, then we can get a more accurate count of what supplies need to be ordered at the end of each week. And this will in turn help us save money on the supplies that we need to purchase. So with all the bad publicity that has been coming through all the E. coli outbreaks, the last thing that we want is for one of our new consumers to come in and have one of the worst experiences that they've ever imagined. So with the hope of this consistency, this will not only promote people to want to come back again, but it'll also get our existing consumers making sure that they always have the same experience that they've always loved. I would now like to welcome back to the stage Christina Spezio.
So ultimately, we would like to establish transparency within our company, and by doing this, we would like to implement locally farmed meat and produce. And by adding a board into our store that states exactly where our produce and meat are from, we believe that it will create much more transparency than before, and customers can ultimately do their own research on each company. So by adding these boards, it will allow us to stand out from our competitors, and it will also help the local economy from the farms. So as you can see, we would like to have the produce on the far left, the name of the farm in the middle, and then where the farm is located on the right side. Our last step of our IMC plan is to gain back the trust of our consumers. So we would like to do this by using different vehicles such as social media, TV commercials, radio, print ads, and search engines.